We're delighted to be joined by team boss Christian Horner now, and I suppose you've got mixed emotions, haven't you? Such contrasting fortunes for your drivers.
Yeah, I mean, very contrasting. I mean, another amazing race by Max today, total and utter dominance. But for Checo, just absolutely gutting home race. And he had a rocket ship launch and had so much momentum going into that first corner. You can't blame him for going for it to try and take the lead at his home race.
You know, with Checo, I know he won, and we're going to talk about that too, but Checo's such a big story here in Mexico. Is this a situation where you feel like you have a conversation with him about, because it feels like he's done this a few times, where there's moves at times that are just overly ambitious and sometimes not even for points. So do you have a conversation, or do you just keep letting this play out?
No, look, he's got 13 years of experience in Formula One, and I think, you know, when you're going through a difficult moment, it's important to support him. And I think that, yeah, he was having a great weekend up until that point, and he was going for the lead at his home race in Mexico City with a crowd that's got, you know, is insane, the amount of support behind him, and you know, 3-1 doesn't go, and unfortunately he was just on the wrong side of it.
So, Christian, win the race. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
The second week in a row, I think, maybe longer, I can't remember, that you've been the first of that lead group to stop, potentially taking a risk with safety cars. Do you think it's that your life is better, that you're more prepared to take risks, more confident in your hard tyre final stint? What is it, do you think, that's driving that?
As Dietrich Mateschitz used to always tell us, no risk, no fun. And we went into that race thinking that, you know, the compounds had all stepped a step softer. So we felt that, you know what, it was on the limit last year. We took 2 sets of hard tyres into the race. Let's go for a 2-stop and let's see if it works. It meant that we'd lose track position, but we felt we had the pace to come back and win it on a 2-stop, which I think would have been really competitive today. It got neutralised with the red flag. And then I was very relieved to see Ferrari put a set of medium tyres on the car. Sorry, hard tyres on the car, not mediums.
Yeah, I mean, you guys' launch is incredible. Talk about that, because that truly won the race. It won the race at the very beginning, caught Checo out, and it won you the second time on the second restart. For sure, it was superior. Talk about just like, do you guys put a lot of focus on that, or do you think it was more down to tires? Setup even?
Certainly hasn't always been the case this season, has it?
No. I mean, our starts haven't been our strongest point this year, and I think that there's been a variance to them, and that's because it's so difficult to manage the torque delivery and everything that's going on. But the control guys did a great job today. Great starts for Checo and Max in the first run, and then obviously at the restart, and Max getting that blinder as well.
Daniel Ricciardo had a great race in the AlphaTauri, obviously out-qualifying Sergio yesterday. I know you said that Sergio's had a good weekend, but he was out-qualified by your sister team. Then Daniel was able to convert that to a P7 today. How impressed were you with him?
You couldn't fail to be impressed by Daniel this weekend. I mean, his qualifying was outstanding yesterday, and he showed his maturity and experience and pace in the race. I think that, you know, fighting a Mercedes in an AlphaTauri for their best result of the year, you know, it was a great performance. And you know, had it not been for the red flag, he might have actually finished even further up. So he can take a lot of confidence coming back from injury. He's had a rough time over the last couple of months, having to sit on the sidelines. But you know, that's the Daniel that we're used to seeing.
He talked about it being a bit of a relief. It does feel like a bit of pressure's off, because he's able to show just what he's capable of. It's like, you know, tapping back into that old form.
Well, as we see in sport, you know, confidence is such a thing, and his confidence is coming up. Checo, we just need, you know, him to have a confidence-boosting you know, result, and he could have had it today, but it wasn't to be. But no, great to see Daniel looking like his old self.
Well, you guys keep setting records, 16 wins. Do you keep finding new ways to celebrate, or do you just keep pushing the same button? Is there a new celebration tonight?
There is a tequila bar just there, if you're interested.
That's very kind of you. But only drinking Heineken.
Of course.
You know,
and Red Bull.
And Red Bull. Wouldn't be my tipple. But look, I mean, as a team, we celebrate every win, because you never know if it's going to be the last. And they're so hard to achieve race victories in this business that you have to celebrate and embrace every win and celebrate every success, because you have a lot more difficult days than you have good days, and it's important to celebrate success.
Well done. Enjoy it, and thank you very much for your time.
Enjoy your tequila.
Thanks a lot.
Christian, a day of mixed emotions, I imagine. On one side of the garage, you've got Max setting another record, and on the other side, you've got Checo at his home race, ending in heartbreak. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, on the one side, elated to have won the race, keep that winning momentum going, but on the other side, desperately disappointed for Checo, going for the lead of the race, you know, a racing accident down at turn 1, to go out on the first lap, you know, in front of your home crowd. Really disappointing for him. Really
painful. How is he feeling? What's he said to you since?
I mean, he was very emotional, as you can imagine, but yeah, he's a racing driver. He had to go for it, and I think you can't place the blame on any of the drivers. 3 into 1 is always going to be tough into one corner, and he had a rocket ship start, probably the best start of the year, and he was going for it in front of his home crowd.
You can't blame him. You can't blame him for wanting to get it right, as you said, in front of the home crowd. Can we talk about Max, though, who, again, another dominant performance from him. As I said, a new record, 16 wins this season. It's like clockwork now.
Yeah, I mean, he's just hit a level of performance that's truly outstanding, and again, controlled the race. The restart didn't come at the right time for us. We were going to go on a 2-stop strategy in that race, and yeah, I think that would have worked out well for us today, but the only exposure we had was the red flag. Ferrari elected to take the hard tyre as well, which took the pressure off a little bit. But a good start from Max, and then he just controlled the race and built up a very healthy lead.
He did indeed, a fantastic performance by him. Looking ahead now, Max, of course, continuing hopefully on this strong performance. How do you manage the external pressures that Checo seems to be under from these rumours circulating and people talking? And it's difficult, right?
Of course it's tough for him, but you know, he's our driver, and you know, we want him to achieve what we know he's capable of, and you know, we continue to support and protect him.
Well, wish him well, and I hope that the Max side of the garage have fun celebrating as well.
Both sides is a team result.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christian.